Hey folks, Fernando doing another video for gem reviews, and in this case, fortunately enough, starting with a 5 out of 5. I mean, I've been doing some reviews for my other channel in Spanish. I've never given a movie 5 out of 5 stars until now. This is that movie, Spider-Man No Way Home. It's a 10 out of 10. You could go with a 9 out of 10 or 8 out of 10 if you're a little bit more, careful regarding these, but I'm giving it a 10 out of 10 not only because it's a great movie, no one will discuss that, but also my 10 out of 10 instead of a 9 out of 10 is because of how difficult it is to make such a great movie with something that's been so worn, so many times, so many superhero movies. This is like what? I've lost count of how many Spider-Man movies there are. I mean, for me, Tobey Maguire will always be the Spider-Man. And Andrew Garfield, not my favorite Spider-Man. This Tom Holland guy does a good job. But I was surprised. I mean, my son saw the movie first. He told me it was great. I went to see it with my wife to the movies the other day. It was, great time. Nice to go back to doing that sort of thing. And even though I went with high expectations, it still met those, and it was still positively surprised by it. So yes, 10 out of 10, man. You want to give it a 9 out of 10? Okay. But this is one of those movies that, yes, you should watch. If you like this kind of genre at all, or, just movies in general, it's just very well done. I'll do a bit of a, going through why is this movie so good. The script, the director. There's a level here also where, obviously, the producers, this is still a Disney Marvel movie, but it's refreshingly lacking the gender politics and the progressive narrative and the woke agenda that's been infecting so many movies lately. There's just a little bit of that at a point, but really nothing. It's just one slight thing there, a little scene that you would not be able to do that with reference to other kind of skin tone. Let's put it that way. But other than that, you're talking about a fantastic movie. Everyone is great here. Everyone does a very good job, and you have fantastic actors. The thing is that often you have great actors doing crappy movies because of a number of reasons. Bad directing, because of gender politics or woke politics getting involved, and the girlfriend has to save this stupid male that doesn't know any better. Even this girl, Zendaya, whatever, has no last name. What is that? Anyway, the MJ of this movie, I didn't like her really in the previous one. Here, she does a much decent job. Benedict Cumberbatch, fantastic actor. Tom Holland, not as good as Tobey Maguire, but you have Tobey Maguire here. Tobey Maguire shows up, has his great role, his great time on screen. Even Andrew Garfield, which is by far my least favorite of the Spider-Mans, he does a very good scene himself. He's very funny at times, so he really makes up for the previous movie. Just fantastic. Everyone here. And you're talking about great actors. Alfred Molina, no doubt, in his role. William Dafoe, fantastic actor. Everyone. I mean, even T.K. Simmons is in this movie. And he's not even here. But, man, you're talking about great actors here with... Probably has a lot to do with the screen, the writer, Chris McKenna. This guy right here, he does a very decent job, and he has done some nice movies before. Ant-Man and the Wasp, Spider-Man Far From Home, Lego Movie Batman, and he had the Jumanji Welcome to the Jungle movie. I thought that was very decent as well, not bad. So Jumanji, good job there. And he does the same thing here in this movie. So in spite of all the junk we've seen, and I'm talking about some of those movies like the Eternals, where you cannot even go through the trailer of that pile of garbage, and yet you have something like this where you're entertained, you are involved, you want to watch through, time flies by as you keep watching, you're wondering what's going to be happening next. There's moments of tension, there's moments of comedy. There's nothing so as sad as something like the Eternals, where people take themselves kind of seriously and it's embarrassing, Well, that doesn't happen here, which is very refreshing. Benedict Cumberbatch, a fantastic actor. That man does a great job here. Now, having said all that, yes, go watch it. You'll enjoy it if you like these movies at least. Now, having said all that, a little bit of a spoiler. So stop watching now. But spoiler alert, yes, there's some scenes that just make this movie for me. There's one in particular that, yes, don't listen anymore because it's kind of ruining for you. But there's a scene where the Aunt May, the actress, what's her name? There is Marisa Tomei, May Parker, where she's, there's a scene where they're fighting in his apartment or where he's living, and she gets hurt, when one of the bad guys just throws her against a wall and she hits very hard. And that in that fraction of a second, you realize that, if you know anything about the human body or injuries, you know that in the real world, that kind of injury, you don't walk away from that. And that is usually the thing that movies have us used to, the fantasy of, you just bump against a wall and just get up as if nothing. Well, she hits that wall very hard, and I was instantly thinking, man, that is not good. And she still gets up, and that's a moment where I think, oh man, they're going to be screwing this now. She's going to be getting up as if nothing, really, after getting hit like that. And I was actually, and there's a moment where she starts kind of like being a little bit confused. And there I had this glimmer of hope, like, yes, please tell me that this woman dies now. And they do that. She gets up as if nothing because of the shock, right? And you know that because of the kind of trauma she suffered, probably internal bleeding, broken bones. So she gets up, she starts talking as if normal, and slowly but surely she starts losing consciousness, feeling dizzy, and in just a few more seconds she passes out and dies. And it is so refreshing to see that it's so real. That's how it happens to you if you go through something like that. And not only that, but Tom Holland, the Spider-Man, the Peter Parker actor, he starts crying. He gets doesn't know what's going on. Exactly how it would happen to people in the real world if you had something like this going on. Anyway, it is so great to see something realistic in a movie that is, of course, all fantasy. But whenever you're talking about a character in the movie that is not a superhero, that's not supposed to have some kind of super strength, of course, scenes like that where you grab someone falling at full speed from the tip of the finger and you would be ripping it off, okay, yeah, but you allow that because it's part of the movie. Now, when you have someone that is being hit like that in such an obvious manner, you would expect just that to happen, and it does. And even the Tobey Maguire has his great moments. What little time he has on screen, he does a fantastic job as well. Even Garfield, and yes, Doctor Strange, doing his thing, very very well acted too. I cannot praise this movie enough, especially given the amount of crap we've seen lately, but maybe one of the best movies I've seen the last couple of years, for sure. Love it. Anyway, go watch it. Folks, see you on our next video. Take care.